loose puck, everybody scores! Tie game! Can you believe it?
I feel like they've always been prioritized.
Now moved ahead, in comes Thomas with a chance, moved and Buddy scores! Akil Thomas has given Canada the lead!
Having one team be able to do it, not the other, doesn't sit right with me.
Back to Byram, to Perfetti. In comes Cole Perfetti, shoots, scores! Cole Perfetti, power play goal! It's 3-0 Canada.
I don't think opportunities like that should be taken away from us.
The World Junior Hockey Championships is often the first opportunity for young men to represent their country on the world stage. Because there is no such tournament for women at the under-20 level, this makes the under-18 Women's World Championship the biggest and sometimes only opportunity for young women to play at the highest level. After years of hard work, perseverance, and development, the process of wearing the maple leaf begins with an email.
My parents were upstairs in their room and they called me up because they had just gotten the email and they let me know that you made the under-18 long list roster. And I immediately just gave them both a hug. I was so over the top. This has been one of my goals since a young age and something that I had worked towards. So it was just amazing to be able to have that opportunity, and just to make the list in general was spectacular. It was mostly, I can't believe this is finally happening, and this is one of my dreams. I can't believe I finally achieved it, all those kind of things. And then also, now I need to work this much harder to get there because I need to be the top one there. I don't want to just be there, but I want to be the best one there. So it's just setting more goals for myself and more things that I needed to work towards in order to achieve those.
I got an email and I think it was in May, maybe. I was like, what's this? I was so surprised. I was like, what? And I was reading it and I ran and I was like, Dad, come look at this. And I was like, is this real? I didn't know, but I was very excited. It was summer, sitting outside on my table. My dad pulls out his phone. He's like, oh, I have an email for you. And I was like, okay. So I just started reading it, and it was a little invitation kind of inviting me to the first Zoom call. And I was like, okay, are you being serious? I can't tell if you're joking or not. And he was like, yeah, I'm being serious. So I think that kind of, knowing that Hockey Canada recognized me at such a young age kind of made me feel like a great hockey player overall. But yeah, when I found out, I was that's one of the best moments of my hockey career, and I was super excited, and I was really looking forward to being able to possibly represent my country at a young age.
I remember I was watching a movie when I checked my emails, and I saw the email from Hockey Canada saying that I was selected to be part of the long list of players, and that was super exciting because I didn't expect to make the U18 Hockey Canada. I really didn't. So getting that, I felt super grateful and lucky that I got that email to be part of the group. But yeah, I remember my dad was outside, I ran outside and told my dad right away. And yeah, it was really exciting because it's always been a goal of mine to be part of Hockey Canada and make one of their programs. So it felt really good to reach that goal.
COVID restrictions prevented Hockey Canada from running a traditional in-person camp, so they had to get creative with weekly online sessions.
Starting around when we got the first email and then continuing until the end of the summer and a little bit into September.
Teaching us about the program and different aspects of their systems and stuff on and off the ice and in the gym, and they even walked us through a few workouts and just things like that, so we could feel we were getting a part of the experience even though we don't actually get to go. We had special guests former now at university former U18 Team Canada players on the call, so the overall experience was awesome, like seeing everyone else going through the same process, like old teammates going through the same process, talking about the process without COVID, obviously, kind of made you want to not be in COVID, which obviously everyone doesn't want to be in COVID right now, but yeah, the overall process, we just had Zoom calls every Sunday.
We went over like video with the coaches, working on systems, and at the time we were working towards the World Juniors for the girls, so we were staying close to hockey and going over how we wanted to be as a team if we were going to play.
Every session was different. They were about an hour long. Sometimes we'd be with the nutritionist, mental health specialist, all of the assistant coaches, and then the head coach, and strength and conditioning coach too. And it was just going over everything that would have happened in the camp.
A lot of learning and how we can get better, and we'd have special guests come on, like past and present players, and we learned about their journeys and how they came up through Hockey Canada, because everyone's journey is different. Not all of them made it at U18, and that's, when you look at them, that's what you kind of see, is that you think that they've been with the program since the beginning, but a lot of them weren't. So it's nice to know that if I don't make it this year, if I didn't make the roster this year, then I'd have opportunities in the future to make it as well.
So with the mental health performance coach, I guess, she went over different ways that you can help calm yourself, different ways to reach your goal, all that type of thing. And then with each of the assistant coaches, they went over defensive strategies, offensive strategies, and just everything that we would have seen in the camp and worked on, and gave us ways that we could try and work on it on our own, even if we couldn't necessarily do the exact skill or thing that they were talking about because we didn't have another person to train with, but that we could do it by ourselves, or different movements that we could do to try and work on obtaining those skills.
I feel like it was just really good to get the opportunity. Even though we weren't able to play, it still felt like we were a big part of the program, and like they really made us feel like we should be proud of ourselves even though we don't get to represent our country.
The coaching staff was amazing. They could have been, like, they were so welcoming with COVID, like obviously like getting an email and sitting in front of a Zoom call with hundreds of people you don't know, like it kind of, the overall process was awesome though.
Since our focus has been like a lot of like strength training and like on the ice, like a bunch of skill stuff, I feel like you can kind of lose a bunch of that, because I know when I first got back on the ice after the first lockdown, I was a little rough. Like back in the gym, like it just wasn't the same. So I feel like it's kind of upsetting to be losing like all the progress that all of us made.
Come September, I'm going away to play university hockey, and that's kind of my ultimate goal, to be prepared for that. So that'll be my motivation to push through it.
I want them to know how hard I work. I think I work pretty hard. I think getting to know me as a player and how I can help lead the team, I guess. I think I can be a good leader.
One of the biggest things that I would probably want them to know is that I'm comfortable in leadership positions, and I enjoy taking charge and being able to help others learn different ways of doing things, or like motivating them to get better and that type of stuff. So that's probably not something that they would have been able to see online through the camp, but that I would want them to know about me as a person.
I feel like I'm not a bad person to have on the ice because I'm quiet, so I won't be like disruptive or anything. I feel like I'm pretty coachable. I feel like they wouldn't be annoyed with me. I
think I want Hockey Canada to know that I'm a determined hockey player, and that I'm always looking for like room to grow, because I think a lot of organizations, a lot of universities, like a lot of coaches don't really know how much a person wants something, you know? So I think I would really just want Hockey Canada to know that I'm willing to do whatever it takes, kind of thing, to get to that next level and to really like overall be on the team.
I'd probably say like Marie-Philippe Poulin, honestly. Like I remember watching her score the winning goal in 2014, and yeah, I just think she's such like a great player. She's like so aggressive and strong and everything. I think I'd go with her.
I looked up to Renata Fast. She came out for our team last year. She helped us out a lot. I think knowing that she came from Burlington really like kind of sets her apart from different people, knowing that she came from our organization and she made it that far as well. It kind of just sits different with you rather than someone else that didn't really come from your organization or from your area, but Yeah, I look up to her. She's an awesome athlete. She's an overall awesome hockey player. She's a really nice person when she came out to help us. Like, she took the time out of her own day to come out to our practices and really help us, which I find for an athlete at that level to come and help kids who are looking up to her and like wanting to be at that level is something I really look up to, and hopefully one day I can do the same.
It was always Haley Wickenheiser. I was number 22 as a kid. For almost right up until I came to Burlington. When I played in Oakville, I was always number 22. But I had to switch because one of the majors had 22. So yeah, but definitely her.
Victoria Bach. I train with her and work with her sometimes. So just being able to see the effort that she puts in every single rep, it gives me something to work towards and lets me see that I want that as my goal, and being able to work with Team Canada and work with someone like that is a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was definitely upsetting, but I feel like I could kind of see it coming. Like, everything was getting shut down. It was just another thing, as upsetting as it was that like it was shut down, like I kind of saw it coming.
Obviously at the beginning I was kind of upset about it. I didn't really understand why they would just have the men when we had worked just as hard to get to where like we are and they are now.
I don't know, it's just like we put in the same amount of effort and sweat and everything, and yeah, it's just kind of feels like that was like taken away from us in a way, because the boys play every year and they have so much tension around it. I think that's part of it, is that there's not a lot of media attention around the girls' hockey and funding, I guess, that goes into it, because it's not popular, and people would rather watch the boys because that's what people have been doing for like 100 years, watching the NHL and everything. It's boys, men, and it's, you know, girls is a growing game and everything, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think opportunities like that should be taken away from us for reasons like that. I don't know, it's just frustrating.
Obviously, I'm upset. I don't think it was right to have the men's do it and the women's not allowed. Like, I don't know what went through that decision process, but having one team be able to do it and not the other doesn't sit right with me.
Despite the heartbreak of missing their first opportunity to wear the maple leaf, our Barracudas are turning this situation into a positive in whatever way they can.
I was extremely disappointed, considering that it was one of the things that I had been working towards and achieving, and then it got canceled so soon after we had found out that it was happening. It was just kind of like a shock for a little bit, and then I kind of regrouped and went about it in a different way. And it's for safety reasons, but even though it would have been my last year to be able to play U18, I could still hopefully try for the development team next year, so it's not a reason to stop working, but even work harder, considering that I'll be going against people even older than me and probably more skilled.
I guess it's just like the first step, like knowing that they've noticed me, like, because I never thought they would. Like, there's so many players out there and like so many awesome players, and just I never thought that they'd notice me out of everyone. So I feel like that just kind of gave me the hope that maybe I could be an actual part of their program.
I think I'm just gonna try and keep progressing at the level I am, and keep going and keep training, obviously, because I think just having that mindset of, okay, you were recognized at one age, you can do it again at the next. So I think at university, I'm just gonna try and keep up with everyone, all the seniors, like everyone, just keep up and stay motivated, keep training, kind of just know that I'm doing it for something bigger than just myself, and that I wanna represent my country at a certain point.
I must have been doing something right in the beginning. So yeah, keep doing what I'm doing, keep working hard, making sure I'm physically fit for their testing standards. So if it's a last-minute camp invite, that I'm ready to go when I get there. I think if I'm lucky enough to make their roster and represent them at any championship, I think that would be really cool. And you know, obviously if sometime in the future, I don't want to like speak too big, but like I think going to the Olympics would be the ultimate goal, to represent my country and to do it on like the largest scale in the world. I think that would be the biggest goal I have.
They're committed to realizing these goals and perhaps living the dream of one day wearing the Hockey Canada crest and playing alongside one of their idols.
You know, growing up, I faced a lot of adversity because of my size.
Turnbull with Bach. Now a 2-on-1. Blair Turnbull to Victoria Bach. She scores! Canada wins it in overtime in Victoria. And why wouldn't it be someone named Victoria?
I just remember I got called up to play junior hockey when I think I was my second year of Bantam. I got called up for a game, and for me, that's when it kind of became a reality that I was like, wow, maybe I can make it somewhere in hockey. Maybe I'm, you know, gonna get the chance to wear the maple leaf. I just remember that process like yesterday, actually, because I remember the tryouts. We would sit at Iceland and Mississauga basically all day, because we would have like 2-a-days. So we'd have like, first time would be like, first hour would be like a skill session, and then the next hour would probably be usually a game. And then we would do a bunch of working out and things like that. So I just remember that process because it was usually like a weekend long. We'd do fitness testing, and I remember that was kind of like my first shot at being at some sort of tryout like that was so competitive, you know, all of the best come together. And the following year in 2013, I played for Team Ontario Red. And that was the year that I made under-18s Team Canada for the first time. So that was in my grade 12 year. So I made it a little bit later than a lot of the girls. I think some of the girls got their shot playing with Team Canada at the World Championships in grade 11, things like that. So having the experience playing with Team Ontario, they came and watched our games, and I ended up getting selected to play in Budapest, Hungary, where we played our World Championships. And that was an incredible experience.
Those two tied up. Bach gets it free. Shot. They score! Potomac puts it into the net. Sarah Potomac from Victoria Bach.
That was the same year as the Olympics, and we ended up winning. Amazing memories I made there. I still talk to most of the girls, and just because that was the year that our men's team won the Olympics, our women's team won, and we won, we got to attend a gala after that. And basically this is where they gave everyone their rings, you know, we had our medals, and it was a big ceremony. And I just remember getting picked up from the airport, and there was a limo waiting for all of us. And they take us to this beautiful gala. I remember being in a room with all my role models, like Poulan was there, Augusta, there's a bunch of guys. I remember Crosby was there. I ended up sitting at a table. There was like Subban, Matt Duchene. That was an incredible experience for me, and probably still one of my favorite hockey memories, getting to wear the maple leaf for the first time and just representing your country. It's a pretty incredible honor, and words can't describe what it's like to put on that jersey. I just remember hearing that, and obviously I was pretty upset. I mean, all of us work so hard to get that opportunity to represent our country. You know, I see how hard these girls work. I've gotten the chance to really, you know, get to know Liv pretty well, and she works super hard. And for all these girls, obviously I felt really bad for them for this experience, but you know, COVID right now and everything that's going on, I think it's gonna help us in the long run, just, you know, making sure that we're pushing forward and just really making the most of every experience. That's really all you can do, and that's the advice I have for all of these girls is, you know, taking what happened and kind of turning it into a positive in any way that they can. You know, it's really disappointing that these girls didn't get the chance to play at the under-18s, but I think they got a lot in store for them and a lot coming. They got a lot of talent, so I'm really excited to see what they can do, and I hope that I get to eventually watch them wear the maple leaf again. I think going into Boston, you know, is for me at first just discovering my role. I know I'm a pretty offensive player, and I like to help my team out offensively as much as I can. And the one big thing that I really had to work on while I was at Boston was developing all areas of my game. You know, I knew offensively I was doing well, but I had to work on those other areas, things like defense and a couple other things. And I think the most important thing for me while at school is your coaches, everyone's there to help. There's so many incredible resources. And one thing I would do is, maybe I felt like, say I was struggling, defensively, I would do video with my coaches, or I would, ask to go on the ice before practice for 30 minutes and do a skill session. Or I would do extra workouts. I'd talk to my trainer in the gym, my strength coach, and they'd give me some extra workouts, extra things to do. It's really important to use your resources because in the end, hard work is going to pay off, and that's what I did, and just making sure that, I was always pushing to get better every day. Dream big, follow your dreams. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. Most importantly, enjoy the moment, have fun, and make memories. That's what it's all about.